How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Griff Dog's Diecast of the Week, and we got some special cars for you today. So the first car that I want to look at is Brad Keselowski's 2017 Autotrader.com Ford Fusion. This car is from Lionel Authentics, and I got it at Walmart. I'll give you a quick tour of the car. As you can see, it is orange pretty much all the way around. You got Autotrader.com here on the front with a little Pennzoil, added sponsorship there. Autotrader on the side, Autotrader on the back, Wurth here on the deck lid, Autotrader here on the side, and you got its blue and orange combo going on here. And the interesting part, no Miller lights at all on the car, which would make sense. Otherwise, Lionel would have to do some special things to the car, which I would not like, and it would be bad. So to jump into this car, the first thing I love about this car is the use of the orange and blue on this scheme. Now, orange is a very rare color that's been used in NASCAR nowadays, because at the top of my head, the only car that really uses orange now is Daniel Suarez with Eris, but that car hardly races anyway. So seeing another orange car is very cool, honestly. And so I do enjoy the orange and blue and how they kind of bounce off one another. Now, in terms of decals, and you can throw this as either a plus or a minus, is that the decals are just there. The decals don't really add much to the car. They're kind of just plastered on, telling us that, hey, this is Autotrader's car. Yeah, not really nothing much is added to it. The one thing I do like, though, is that on the front, the A, like the big white A, is really big. But then they shrunk it so that it's still there on the side, but it balances out with the entire word Autotrader. And so because of that, you can tell that this car is Autotrader's car. It's one of those cool things. It's like it doesn't compete with other sponsors. It's that for the few races that Autotrader actually sponsors Brad Keselowski, Autotrader is able to go out and yell to the world, hey, we have this car. Come to our website and trade your automobile, which I believe is the reason Autotrader exists. Now, in terms of design, the one thing I do not like about this car is the cliche design. Because if you look really closely and you see Logano's car up here, it is the same pattern as the 22 car. The only difference is that the sponsor is different and the colors are different. But besides that, it is the same template that they use with Logano's car. And so since they use that, that is a big minus to me. And I really wish they could have gone a little more unique with their design. But speaking of design though, and this is not just this car specifically, but overall with Penske, I do love the unique 2 that they use on the car. And they've used that same 2 design since 1993 or so, when Penske did join NASCAR. And so what's really interesting is you look in the IndyCar series, how that 2 is a little more like traditional, but it doesn't stand out. Whereas in NASCAR, you got more of like this. It's like it is wavy, but it's also straight at the same time. And so I really enjoy that, and not just with this car specifically, but with all Penske cars. So overall, I'll give this car 3 stars. It's a good looking car, but it's one of those things, it's like, here's a company, here's a sponsor, slap on that company's name, and we'll just give you the template for you. So I'm not entirely a big fan of that, but I mean, because of the orange, it really still stands out as a good looking car. So now the counterpart to this car, then the other car I want to talk about and review, is actually my first ever Rusty Wallace car. I got it in 1998, and it is the Rusty Wallace Ford Taurus. I was about to say Miller Lite, but that is not true because Miller Lite is not on this car. Winter Circle made this car, and it is the kid-friendly edition. Now, yeah, there's a couple of bruises and scratches on this car, but just please ignore that and just look at the fact that it is a 2 Rusty Wallace / Miller Lite Ford Taurus. Now, just a quick little tour of the car. You got the white here on the front, dark blue here on the side, dark blue on the back. You have a little red stripe going on the side here. Very little, but it's there. And then you got the dark blue here on top. So the first thing I really like about it is that the colors work. I really like how there is a good balance of dark blue and white on both sections. Because it's like here on the side, it's like you have a lot of dark blue, and then like the proportion of white to blue is the same as the blue to white here. It might be a little more, but just considering how much of each is on there, it's really nice. And what really adds to it too is that Mobile 1 is right here as a little logo, but instead of like having that logo be completely colorized like what Harvick's car is back here and Stewart's, they decided to go with all white on the side to again give that balance of blue and white throughout the entire car. The other thing I do like about this car too is that the specific decal of a car, like the specific decal, is there's like on the hood, that's one decal, and then on the side, they alternated it because you have lack of room here on the side. Same thing over here, because the Wallace / Miller, whatever, is over here on the side, while the Rusty / Light is big, but on the side. You can't have it, you can't throw this logo here on the side because the Wallace would be hidden behind the tire. Now, it's a good classic car, but honestly, one thing that I just never really liked about it is the lack of design on it. Because you just have the white here, and then the dark blue here on the side, and that's pretty much it. Like, there's really nothing more to it. I mean, the decals surely help, and then you can also make the excuse of the good old days classic car. But again, it's like it's unique, but you can hardly use that excuse because in 1998, when his teammate Jeremy Mayfield came about, that car looks the same, a lot the same as the 2 car. And so that makes that 2 car a little harder to stand out. And then the last thing then just to kind of talk about on this car is that the color, like the reason for the colors is very interesting because it's like, this is supposed to be a beer car. Like, that's the reason why it says Rusty, not Miller Lite, because Miller Lite, as you know, is beer. But the argument that you can make here is, like, it's really hard to really show that it actually is a beer company. And that's why I liked the 2 car from 2010 and 2013, because you actually saw, like, liquid on this side of the car. And that really shows that, hey, it's actually an alcohol car. Like, you can know that's alcohol. But here, you just have the dark blue and the white. And so, I'm not saying it's bad, because it can be either bad or good. And so, the argument that you can make is the Miller Lite logo. Like, what the car is based off of is the actual logo, not the actual product that they're selling. And so, the car, as you can see, is just one ginormous billboard, which, of course, is what the normal point and use of these race cars are and what the original use of sponsorship is. Because for the most part, you don't want to show the actual product on the car, but I feel like it would help sell what you're trying to sell even more. So overall, I'm going to give this car 3 stars as well. It's a good looking car, and like I'm going to give it more of a high 3 stars, but it's nothing really unique and it's nothing really too important. Like, I mean, it sort of stands out, but nothing like too much or nothing too extraordinary. Definitely has a good like traditional look, but you can only use that excuse for so much, for so long. So finally, let's just put the 2 together. Gen 4 car, Gen 6 car. And so the one thing I actually do love as we compare these 2 cars, look at the dark blue. It's actually almost the same on both. Maybe we could get a better like look here. But yeah, no, both of the colors are pretty much the same. And that was pure coincidence. So I'm really glad I did that. But as you take a good look at these cars, as you can see how much time has changed. So that'll wrap things up here. Thank you guys again so much for watching another episode of Griff Dog's Diecast of the Week. Look out for more videos down the road. And it's been a pleasure showing you guys all these diecasts. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.